Hello everyone, and welcome to Apollo4X. My name is Joe Young, and thank you very much for joining this video. Today we are going to be talking about tactical combat, how it works, and an example of demonstration of play. As you can see here, this red planet, the Liber colony, is a colony that is not controlled by me, but is in fact controlled by the Centaurs. During the game, the AI will expand to planets, and as you can see right here, there's number 2 representing 2 turns before being conquered. And as it expands to other planets, it will then proceedingly conquer them, eventually coming to my planets, such as nobility over here. Now, in order to win in the game, you have to conquer the enemy homeworld, and to do that, it's best to take preemptive strikes before they come to you. We need to train a military. Training a military is very easy in Apollo. However, wielding it is quite a challenge. If you go up here, you can see that we have 5 troop choices. 4 of them are currently present in game. The first one is the Stellar Marines. These are your standard bread and butter troops. These are the kind you would see in the mechanized infantry of our time. In the middle, you can see the Science and Shield Regiment. These are medics, scientists. They do all sorts of... Their whole idea is to support your forces rather than directly assault the enemy. Over here you can see space support. These are air power. This is regiments that are capable of attacking the enemy from flight. And over here you have missile recon, which is direct damage dealing from afar, or long range distance. Okay, now that we have a standard force, let's buy some fleet. As you can see right here, this is how much it costs. And let's begin invading. Over here, before the combat starts, you have to build the composition of your forces. And over here, you can see the composition of the enemy forces. As you can see, we have 4 Horde bands, a Kaiju, and 2 Liber champions. Liber champions are heroes, a Kaiju is a giant monster, and the Horde bands are, several hundred amounts of Centaurs. Over here, you can see the amount of wins I need to win. Over here is the morale. If my morale is high, the enemy will retreat, and if my morale is low, I will retreat. And over here you can see clout, which is used for special force operations, which won't be applicable for this tactical combat, however, is in the actual full build. So let's begin. As you can see, we have the tactical cards here. The forces are lined up. Let's begin combat. Now, a battle satellite regiment, before it starts, has to give itself maneuvers. You have to assign it maneuvers. So let's decide who we're going to assign maneuvers to. We are actually going to assign it to this guy over here. So I click him, and I click him. There we go. Now, these guys are sharing a maneuver. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do total information dominance. Now, but before we do that, let's actually take a look at the orders in tactical combat and see what's going on. So for instance, when I click here, there are 3 stats, 3 different orders. I can't do them all at once. I have to choose what order I want to do. The first stat is attack, and attack represents how much damage I deal. The second one is defense. This represents how much defense I have. The third is exertion, which represents the stamina cost it costs to do the order. And the fourth is morale, and morale represents my ability to cause the enemy to rout or flee. When I attack an enemy, the amount of damage I do is that minus the defense value. So if a 3 attacks a 2, I deal 1 damage. The morale specifically represents which unit is braver. If my morale is higher, my unit is braver, and so as a result my morale goes up. However, if my morale is lower, then the Centaurs are more brave, and my morale goes down. So as you can see, we have 3 different options to choose from. Let's just start with something basic, and let's do take territory. The unit has chosen its orders, and as you can see right here, it's doing a taunt. So when it goes up like that, it's doing a taunt. And you can see right here it took damage. As you see, 6 damage against my 2 defense. That's actually 4 damage. That's quite a lot of damage. However, as you can see here, my morale was 1, and his morale was 1. So as a result, neither of us were braver, so the morale score didn't change. Okay. Let's do this here, and we're going to do a more advanced maneuver. We're actually going to use total information dominance to create a maneuver between him and him. So as you can see, They now share a maneuver. Now, see, his morale is 1, mine is 0, so he is braver, and so my morale is now -1. Now let's talk about something else for a second. You see these things up here, flank? This represents vulnerability. This is a unique power I have controlling the Stellar Marines. If I can flank these guys successfully, I can activate a super attack known as Assault the Position, which is a very high thing. The more flanking I do, the higher the buff is. But before I do that, I want to make sure that I maximize the amount of flanking I can place on these guys. So I'm probably going to do take territory so I can put more flanking on them. As you can see, my morale 1 beats his morale. The Liber Champion may roll his dice. Now, the Liber Champion is not an actual unit. It doesn't have strength. Rather, what the Liber Champion is one centaur specifically. He's only one of him. And he takes dice every time he takes damage. He is the Aragorn, if you will, or he is the Darth Vader, if you will. He is one man so strong that he can take on thousands individually through individual combat. And so getting them can be tricky because if you're not careful, like if you don't deal with them enough, they can potentially have a lot of hero luck behind it. Call it plot armor, if you will. Now, look at this. I have 2 flank here, 1 flank here, 2 flank here. That's a lot of flank. I'm going to now do the super attack, Assault the Position. 6 attack, 6 defense, 7 morale. Watch this. So the champion saves his saving throw, despite the fact, I mean, he had a low chance of doing it, but he survives. And they all take damage. Well done. None of them are actually able to get through to me because I have such a high armor, so it doesn't matter. I mean, these 2 don't even have attacks for all that sense. Alright. Let's finish this off. This is tough. What we're then going to do next is we're actually going to use this. Now, this guy can create a maneuver between himself and another regiment. He can deal 3 damage to all regiments, but actually I'm just going to have him deal 4 damage to this guy. I want them to get a little more... I want to lower their strength a little bit, because if their strength is low, they're going to flee. And let's talk about this for a second. You see this number up here, 4 morale? If this morale ever becomes larger than the strength bar of any of these units, then the unit will flee. They will run from the battle. If I can get their strength low enough and my morale score high enough, I don't actually have to kill them all. I can cause them to run away in fear. So I'm going to do this. So 5, good. 6. Okay, you see that right here? 7. That's excellent. So because it's 7, this guy is going to run. Since 7 is greater than 6, well, obviously, this unit will now flee the battle at the end of the turn because my morale is higher than it. Finally, I'm going to heal this regiment. I'm going to do some medic stuff. He takes 3 damage. He takes some damage. And you see, like that. He's gone. He's routed. Now, the morale score lowers every time a unit flees. But if I can keep their morale score low enough, I may have a shot at winning. Right now, things don't look too good for me, but if I could just set up another one of these strikes, I should be able to make it. Okay, I'm trying to figure out right now where I want to go. Actually, I want to do this. This time, I am going to attack him from orbit. I'm just going to use this to blow him to smithereens. So as you see right here, this is an attack that goes through defense. So I just did 5 straight damage to him. Now if my morale score gets high enough, he will run from the battle, which is exactly what I need in order to win. This specific opponent, remember, each opponent has a different unit roster. This specific opponent specialty is brute force. However, their weakness is morale. They come in hard and they leave fast. So if I can just beat them through getting them to run, that is the best way to take them. However, some of the other staff has different strategies in order to defeat them, including using attrition of nano warfare. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is... I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to take territory. Nope, he survived. If his... Wait, nope, he survived. Damn. As you can see, I beat his morale score. And as you can see here, I got 3 flank modifiers on. That's excellent. Alright. Let's do this. Oh, that was close. If it was 1 lower, he would have died. Now, 6. So right now the Kaiju is pretty much guaranteed to run. If I can increase it by another certain amount, I can win. However, this is actually this does not look good for me. In fact, I am pretty sure I'm going to lose. I'm actually very sure I'm going to lose. So, I'm actually going to bombard this guy. Now, his strength is 3. So since his strength is the lowest and my morale is higher, that means this guy will run first before him. And in case of a tie, it's a dice roll. Let's do that. So right now, oof. Oh, man, this is bad. We currently have a functional AI, and obviously I am struggling here. As you can see, even though I am able to get them to run, they are just so well knocking me around. It is bad. 8. Okay, so he's dead, so morale does not apply to him. In fact, it'll just go to the Kaiju now. Alright. Let me do a last-minute resurrect. Let me resurrect this regiment before they're gone. Okay. Alright. Oof. Routed. I got 2 regiments to rout. Excellent. So as you can see right here, even though I've taken more damage, because I've held the moral ground, I'm able to hold them off, like Roman legions against Celts. Okay. So, I'll do him here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use total information dominance to create another maneuver. As you can see right here, this. Now, my morale is 4, right? If I can get this high enough, I can get these 2 regiments to flee, which will give me a chance. However, the champions are tricky because they have so far passed their saving throws. And if they pass enough of their saving throws, I'm in serious trouble. Okay. I'm gonna actually use this maneuver, close quarter strike, and I'm just gonna directly. Ah, damn! See, as you can see right here, the champions have now. Oh, but it doesn't matter. He failed a saving throw. Excellent. Nope. Good, good, good. So the champions did a maneuver to protect themselves from combat, so they could keep the morale up. It won't matter though, because if I can. Alright, so right now the morale is 0. See this number right here is 0. So this regiment, even if it's at 2 strength, won't flee. So I have to make sure that I get their morale low enough. Ah, dang. I'll just do this. So, his is down to 7. I beat him. So no matter what, this regiment is going to flee, unless my morale score gets low, and I'm going to go... Oh, so awful. Oh, this was so close. Damn. Oh man, this was really close. But it doesn't look like I'm gonna win this one. Wait, actually I may. Alright, now as you see here, I've completed my domestic agenda. This is, the more I kill of these guys, the more Centaur units I kill, the more popular my regime is, naturally of course. However, this is something different, and we'll talk about this later. Okay, let's see if I can finish this off. So I know this guy is at really low health, so I might as well just strike him now with a missile launcher. And in response, he's attacking me, but this guy's dead. Okay. So it's pretty down to the wire. No joke. Let's do this. Let's see if I can get him. Nope. Oh, shit. However, I have the Battle Satellite Regiment. It's a fantastic regiment. Alright, let's see. Let's see if I do a space-to-surface interdiction. Let's see. Okay. Oh! Down to the wire. Oh! Snap! That was close. That was close. As you can obviously see, we have an AI. One of the most important things we want to sell to the player is our AI is functional, okay? This is the kind of game that will challenge you. This is a game that has very little luck besides those little champions who of course have plot armor to protect them. This is a game that is solely about planning and solely about maneuvering. This is a game where you know what the stakes are when you do the order, and it is not a game where you can simply idle by. There is no just attack. You have to choose the strategy you want to do in order to succeed. And that is something I can promise you. I can promise you that early access, full release, even beta, alright, even if I were to throw this on the internet, I guarantee you, the consumer, a quality AI that you can play with so that you can continually be engaged and entertained with the game. Unfortunately, we didn't take the planet, but we did learn a little bit about combat and how that's structured. My name is Joe Young. Thank you for watching this video. Take care.